Hello and good morning all. Good afternoon now. So I appreciate you guys and congratulations to all of the other award winners for the Pima County Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you for your attendance, but congratulations to all the award winners from coming up before and the ones that are still here. Wow, what a team. It's not one player, and one of the things I always start off with is saying, Coach Roland Levetter, rest in heaven. Amen. Uncle Rolly, we wouldn't be here without him or the Levetter family. I say that from Beverly Levetter, Uncle Bev, Reva, Neil, and some of the other members that aren't here. Rich Utter is here. We also would honor the Jackson family that's not with us today and the Moore family. But Pueblo's in the house tonight. And our old saying was, once a warrior, always. Yes, always. And this was a team that was always about others. And one of the things that Coach Levetter always taught us was to play hard. That's number one. But the other thing was to bust your butt and make someone else look good. Right. Think about that. If Tony threw me a bad pass, I was supposed to catch it.
That never happened.
It never did because I always made him look good. So that saying followed me all the way through my basketball career. I had that saying in my college dorm room at ASU as a freshman. And surprising, one night I was at a restaurant with my old friends, and my college teammate was there, having dinner with his wife. And I wrote on a note, bust your butt and make someone else look good. Yeah. And the waiter took it over to him. And he looked around for me, and I walked out the door and waved goodbye to him. And he knew exactly who it was. And that's 40 years later. So with that being said, yes, college roommates are special, but most important, teammates are a lifetime. And I thank you to be able to share this honor with all these guys that's up here and their family members and all the ones that came to help us get through this. Barry O'Rourke, Rich Utter, Gary Crane, those group of individuals, staff members, and I'll also say this, the Western Hills, Pueblo Gardens, South Park, Social Committee, thank you guys for really keeping myself, Jeff Moore, and the ones who aren't here all the time involved with what happens at Pueblo High School. Thank you.
Always threw good passes. I don't know what he's talking about. If I passed it. It was a give and go. Give me the ball and just go. That wasn't. Before we get any further, I just want to take a moment to honor those who came before us, our ancestors whose land we are literally standing on today, right now. We give them honor because we stood on their shoulders to be here. And what we did was great, but what they did was greater because they opened up the doors for us. So I just want to take a moment to say that. There's a simple truth that teaches success is nothing without someone to share it with. I've been very blessed to be able to share the success we had as a team with all these gentlemen you see standing behind me. Each and every last one of these gentlemen can tell the story of what happened after Pueblo. They went on to become business owners, working for major corporations, doing their own thing, and really just good human beings. And we learned that from a gentleman named Coach Roland Levetter. He taught us to be good persons because being on the court as a good ball player is great, but to be a good human being was so much important. He always said something that I always remember. Game time was our time, but practice was his time. And let me tell you something. Those practices, woo-wee, from 3 until 8 o'clock at night, that was the average. And something else that you don't know as a public, he would lock the doors. He would chain the doors so we couldn't get in and get out. Coach would be, he would be in jail today. because some of the things he did, but those things made us champions. We were still doing cones in the playoffs, stutter step, receiving the bat, basic fundamentals. And I went to him once and said, Coach, why are we going to do fundamentals? We kind of got this thing down. He said, that's how you got here. We do what always brings the lady to the dance that you're going to dance with the whole time. And we learned the dance that way fundamentally, and I really appreciate that about Coach Levetter. And there are quite stories that I want to tell you real quick. One story, we were driving up to, Phoenix hated us. You guys know that, the old Tucson-Phoenix rivalry and things like that. Phoenix hated us. It was pouring rain. It was one of the worst torrential downpours in history, apparently. And we were stuck in traffic. We couldn't get there, and the time was clicking. And apparently, they weren't going to allow us to give any time. I had no teethus. I got my teeth knocked out before. Fat had an injury. Jeff Moore was injured. We were called the Bengay kids because we were all wearing Bengay at the time. And for those of you old enough to remember Bengay, we go, oh, yeah. But we're driving to the game, and we couldn't get through, and traffic was holding us. And Coach looks over. He sees the railroad tracks. He jumps up. He says, get on the tracks. We all take these vans. We all get in this van, and we go on the railroad track. And we're going to the game, all the way to the game. And we got there with 10 minutes on the clock, and the referee said, sorry, we start in 10 no matter what. I pulled a hamstring on the way down. I already had my teeth missing. Like I said, everybody else was in a lot of pain. But it was a different time, and we found a way to win in the midst of all the challenges that we had. The last thing I want to say is this. Where's Greg Hansen? Right there. Where is he? Greg. I can't see. I'm getting old. Greg, sorry. Greg, I just want to say, for 46 years, I had no idea that Fat and I averaged triple doubles. Had no idea. You know why? Because that wasn't a concern. It was about us. It wasn't about me, which is totally different these days. These kids got these portals. They got to get their data, all that stuff set up. This is not that team. We had to win at that time in 1978 because we wouldn't have won in this time because we would not have been thinking about ourselves. We would have been thinking about the team. And maybe we could have pulled off a couple of more championships in this time. But it's a different time. I want to thank you for that information. Last but not least, I want to introduce, where is he? Lance Levetter, the son of Coach, our great coach, Roland Levetter. I just want to have him a few things to say.
Thank you very much. Guys, I know you got locked in the gym, literally chained in the gym for 5 hours, but I can one-up you. I'm probably one of the few guys that actually had to play for Roland for 4 years. Then I had to practice and go home to dinner with him. So those are some awkward moments, when Bev is serving dinner and said, how did practice go? And just silence. She said, well, that good. That's great. Eat your peas. Anyway, as a young coach, coming up and following in his footsteps, he taught me when your team loses, you take all the blame, and when they win, you give the team all the credit. You guys did that for 35 straight games. You have earned this, and on behalf of Roland and Beverly, I know how proud they are of you, and even more, the men that you have all become. So congratulations.
I'm going to do one more thing, and I don't have a long list of things to read out real quick, but I just want to say, I want to acknowledge each one. It's a small group, but Lance Levetter, Fat Lafayette, Fat Lever, Sonia Jackson, one of the gentlemen who passed away, Duncan Jackson, was on the team, an amazing player as well. His sister's representing him. Willie Mentor, John Caddy Sosa, the man, the myth, the legend. Raul Amazon, amazing human being. Kenny Martin and Richard Lawyer. All these gentlemen put in time and effort to make us the best ranked, listen to this, ranked 3rd in the nation. We put Tucson on the map. They were ranked 3rd in the nation. We were ranked number 1 in the Southwest. No one else has done that back to back. And by the way, let me tell this gentleman standing next to me, he always says, oh, we were pretty good too. Yeah, but 28-0 will always be 26-1.
Hey, baby, but we were both state champions.